All right, seeing none, let's move on to the principal's report. Kristen, welcome to the board meeting.
Thank you.
Get ready, we're till 1 o'clock in the morning, I hope you're ready to start. So.
I took a power nap, I'm ready.
All right, good.
Before I jump into the agenda items, I just wanted to provide a brief update on some things that have been going on in the building this past month. So May is AP testing, so over 2 weeks in May, we administered 1,112 AP tests, covering 20 different subjects, and so students will begin to receive their scores probably late June, early July, and we hope that many of them have demonstrated what they've learned throughout the course and have earned college credit. Students are also starting to receive their individual scores on the AP test that they took in April, and many students are really excited about the scores that they're receiving, and so we're hopeful that as a building, our scores, the students will have demonstrated growth from their incoming Explore score. We have not received the scores as a building yet. We anticipate them hopefully arriving this week, but they're taking a little longer due to the writing portion. I think that was added back.
You meant to say ACT the second time, right?
The ACT.
You said I think you said AP again. You get the ACT scores now,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
For seniors, we had the senior picnic, which you heard a lot of the food was donated by the Boosters Club to make that possible. We had to hold that indoors due to the weather that day. We also had the senior scholarship reception, in which students received over $77,000 in scholarships this year, and then the senior athletic awards dinner to celebrate the senior athletes as well. Other events included the spring choir concert, which featured music either composed or performed by musicians from Great Britain. In addition to choral pieces, students were encouraged to prepare music and audition for soloists, and so that's one of the greatest features of the spring choir concert. And so they had seniors, Kristen Tomasek and Rachel Bennett, perform solos, in addition to 3 freshmen, Grace Pottle, Maddie Malone, and Rachel McGee. So it was exciting to see the freshmen have an opportunity to perform as well. There was also the Spring Art Show, which featured works from all of the visual arts, ranging from Photo 1 and Drawing and Painting 1 to AP Studio Art. We had the Apollo Awards about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, which was an evening put on by the music department. And what they do is they have the RB ensembles perform, and then in between each performance they give out awards as well, and it's just a great way to culminate everything that they've done throughout the year. And then lastly, Shenanigans Improv Show was also about a week and a half ago, which is guarantee for a good laugh, and they didn't disappoint again this year. While commencement took place on Friday, the rest of the underclassmen came back and finished their finals today. So today was their last day of school. Athletically, as many of you know, the boys track and field team qualified for state. We have several athletes competing this Friday and Saturday at Eastern. We have Louis Grigoletti, who's competing in discus. We have high hurdles, Duran Mundi and Louis Rogers. And in the meter run, we have Dan Curtin. And then the relay team, we have Marvin McKenzie, Michael McCabe, Louis Rogers, and Jaron Moody. Also, regional started this week for softball, boys volleyball, which won tonight, and baseball as well. So we have a lot going on.
Beautiful.
A question, when students graduate and then they have to come back for some of these athletic events, are they covered with insurance?
I believe so. I think we answered this question before.
I think we asked last year.
Yeah, we've asked that.
I think somebody asked last year.
It was even foundation years, yeah, when I was.
Why are they
second.
covered though? Because they're no longer students.
Well, the season's still,
Because it's
The
part,
start
because
of
you're
your
part
season.
still you're part of the school, competing for the school.
right.
IHSA allows graduated seniors to compete till the season's over.
Okay,
So our
You're not
insurance
doing it
must
on your
cover
own, you're doing it as
okay.
a student in the school, even though you're.
Okay, Kristen, you got a couple reports for us. You ready?
Yes. The first report is on professional development, and all of this money comes from the federal grants, Title I and Title II. Title I is provided for the purpose of improving the academic achievement of disadvantaged students that we serve. Each year we're required to allocate at least 10% of the Title I funds for professional development for those students. And Title II funds is just general professional development provided at improving the performance quality of teachers, and could include administrators depending on how that's being used. So the chart provided outlines the expenditures by the two different accounts. And you can see that some of the bullet points are in italics, and that's because, as Tim said before, this grant it has a slightly different cycle. So it started on October 4th this year, which is when the grant was submitted, and then it goes through August 31st. So that's why, while we've allocated or earmarked some of the money, we haven't spent it all yet. So you can see for Title I, we have only spent $5,000, but we plan on using the rest of the money by the end of the grant. And a lot of those things, the three things that we were planning on spending them are all research-based training, one which aligns to our new Algebra 1 curriculum. And Check and Connect is a program that we plan to institute next year to help with our at-risk students in regards to attendance. So we're really excited about those opportunities. And then you can see on Title II.
Can I ask you a question
yeah.
we should go through? Besides the particular line items or what program you decide to send people to, how do you decide who you're going to send?
So staff submit requests through their department chair,
Okay.
And they go to the assistant principal of curriculum and instruction and the principal, and we sit down and look at the request and determine, kind of how many students would be impacted by that, how many staff have the opportunity to participate, and whether or not it is helping us make progress towards our district goals. So that's one thing that we plan to tighten up for next year, is really aligning every request specifically to the district goals.
So Kristen, on these, like just to build on what Tim said, these points come from staff or do they come from us too? Is it two-way street? So like these ideas for training, does it come from administration or does it come from staff?
It comes from both. So, for example, the Algebra 1 research-based curriculum came from Doug Schultz, and myself in determining how to structure that for staff. Check and Connect was something that was from the administration. So it just varies depending on the event.
Okay.
So this year we allocated a little over $5,000 to help us reach our technology goal of really using technology to enhance what teachers do in the classroom as we explore one-to-one. And so we were able to send a lot of people to a variety of conferences that were in the Chicagoland area. And 13 people will attend the one-to-one summer symposium at Leiden this year, which is a great way to see exactly how the one-to-one environment can help students in the classroom become more engaged and extend their learning outside of the classroom. So, and then the rest of Title II you can see is broken down into Common Core standards or instructional strategies to help improve ACT, AP conference, and then specific school and department goals. So you can see there's some things for guidance counselors in there, the PE department, and then some other school-wide trainings as well.
Any questions on the professional development report?
I have a question for you, Kevin. Maybe you'll let Kristen answer. If we're not getting the grants until after we approve the budget, I recall us asking if we had enough money in the budget for staff development. How do we know we have enough money in the budget for staff development to make our budget at the beginning of the year?
So Tim, we set the amount so that it's 10% under the last year's allotment, and every year we've slightly gotten more. We do not have any money allocated specifically for certified staff if it wasn't for the Title II or Title I money.
And is that enough money for the kind of development our staff needs?
I think so. I mean, as you can see, a lot of this is first going to be used throughout the summer.
Right.
And some of it we're carrying over into the beginning of next year, early August. So, I mean, between Title I and Title II, I believe we're going to be close to about $30-something thousand.
Right, and then we also get staff development money for special ed. We get it for bilingual.
Right.
We get it.
But the general staff is Title I, Title II.
Right. Mhm.
So roughly $300 to $400 per teacher.
And how we approached it at the beginning of the year without knowing exactly how much money we were gonna receive is, we work off of the amount that Tim has given us is his approximation, and we look to plan for spending about half of that, and then we wait until we get the confirmation of how much money we have before we make plans to spend the rest of the money.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, could we maybe look at this differently? You know, we've always looked at cost of athletics and said compare it to other schools. How do we compare our professional budget to other schools? Are we way under? Are we, where do we sit with other schools? Or if you don't have an answer, can we look at it that way? And is there a certain area that if you had your druthers, you'd like to have all your staff go with current trends on X, Y, and Z? I mean, can we, and I'm not saying we're gonna open the wallet, but I'm just saying, at least we're
We've never
aware.
heard you say that.
Well, yeah.
We're aware of where we sit in the world. So that, because we're looking at a you're looking at what we spent.
Right.
But does that mean we're anywhere near, we're missing the boat on certain
I think,
professional development?
Tim, you know, we have the list of schools that we do our comparisons on with staffing, local, and then our size and conference. We could maybe have Tim reach out to some of their business managers to see if he can get an idea of where we are in professional development.
Or even the general concepts out there now that we're not, because we haven't had the money to
A lot.
and I don't
Really
know.
asking
I'm-
two questions. Are we spending what we should spend, or
Yeah.
is it comparable? And
Is
what
it
are we
best
spending it
practice?
on? And,
Yeah.
you know, what should we be spending it on?
Yeah, most of the money that's being spent out there right now, though, is with Common Core and the new staff evaluations and data collection. A lot of money's been spent on that.
But we can
That
get a
doesn't help the
report,
kid.
right?
That doesn't help
No,
the students.
It doesn't. But am I wrong? I mean, you're part of the CADCA group, which has over, 40 high school
But I anticipate.
representatives, and I mean, most of that is being spent on Common Core and then data analysis for these new evaluation models. How you're
Which
gonna-
doesn't, which is,
It's calculating student growth.
but one of the things we're gonna be spending it on, I imagine, next, with our move, push to one, right?
Right?
And I guess we'll see into his budget next year if he's got any money for that.
Or is there even the the state website, they have that
Okay.
500-page
That's all
report
there is.
on what they break down some of these costs. Maybe they have an average per school district or something.
All right, see what you can do and find out from us. Okay, C-Team, report.
So back in March, I believe there were some questions about the C-Team because the numbers have dipped in enrollment. So what I tried to do was just provide an update on, a historical update on the C-Team. And so you can see on the first page of the C-Team report that the original program description, which has changed a little bit from what we currently have for the C-Team. So the block classes, we no longer have environmental enrichment, which was an extra period for students to discuss current events, have an opportunity to have an executive functioning lesson once a week, but it was like an extra period where students received a quarter of a credit each semester for participating in that. And the reason that we got away from that is students wanted the opportunity to participate in the C-Team, but still also participate in an elective. The other changes from the original program description is, which you'll see on the second page when we talk about the financial summary, but we no longer have the educational liaison from the Chicago Zoological Society that was really used in the first couple of years to help us set the program up. And then also there used to be somebody who would get paid a stipend for organizing and coordinating all of the field trips. The program goals have not changed from the C-Team's original program goals. On the second page, you can see the professional services column, and that was used primarily to pay for the educational liaison and the person to coordinate the field trips. And so you can see, since we've brought the field or the C-Team back, that the total expenditures from the district in terms of running C-Team has decreased significantly. Part of that cost is offset now by the families pay a program fee of $140.
So is this a net number then?
Total expenditures net,
Sorry?
correct?
So, yeah, so the total expenditures are what the district puts forward for the C-Team, and then you can see in the bullet point, approximately around $7,000 to $8,000 are collected in student fees. The enrollment summary, so I'll provide a little background in regards to that. So
So let me make sure, I don't know if you, so you're telling us we're making money on the C-Team then?
No.
no, they also spend the money that they bring in for student
So that's not
fees.
the total expenditures then, it's the net?
Yes.
Okay.
So the enrollment summary, you can see in 2007 and 8, that's when the program really started to spread through word of mouth, which is why the program grew significantly. But then the following year was the state mandate for the reading initiative, which is the year that we started offering the extended reading program. And then the following year is when we were offering the extended math program. And so as a result, those classes have to be offered during our fourth period, which eliminates those students from being able to participate in the C-Team. Also because they need the extended time, it's difficult for them to participate in the C-Team and rush through the curriculum. And so that's where you can see some of the challenges starting to come in, especially in 2010 and 11. We had data on the number of students that requested it, but then the number of students that we were actually able to schedule. So you can see when we brought it back in 2012-13, we were able to accommodate all of those requests, but at that point exceptions were being made, and if students needed to be in reading, they tried to accommodate both, and we just discovered that those students weren't being as successful as they could have been if we were not excusing them from reading. So they weren't seeing the gains that other students were showing. So as a result, in 2013-14, you can see we had 81 students requested, but we were only able to accommodate 69. And this year it was even worse. And the other challenge outside of extended reading and math is simply some students, for example, will need regular English, honors bio, and regular algebra, whereas another student might need honors algebra, regular bio, and regular English. So the administration was having a hard time, asking students to either challenge themselves in a class where we didn't feel that they would be as successful, or step down from an honors class to take a regular class just to participate in the C-Team. And so the reason we only have 43 students this year is because due to all of those scheduling conflicts, we couldn't get a third section filled with a lot of students. So we only are offering 2 sections next year, which is one strand, which is all honors, so honors biology, honors algebra, and honors English, and then the other strand being honors algebra, honors biology, and regular English. And that was just how the needs of the students fell. And then we're combining boys and girls PE into one PE class based on our numbers. So those are some of the challenges that we face with scheduling, which is why the enrollment is only 43 for this coming school year.
So could you, I'm not sure I quite grasp it, in 2013-14, we had 12 kids who requested it, couldn't get it, which was like 20%, and we had 69. In 2014, for next year, almost 30 kids who requested it, which is like 45% of them couldn't be in it, which, that's more than a whole section, isn't it, 30?
Right. Well, some of those students, for example, requested C-Team but needed to be in pre-algebra or needed reading support, so they couldn't qualify. We had very few students that wanted to be in the program but were in geometry. And so we couldn't accommodate them. And then we did have a handful of students that, based on their combinations of honors and regular courses, we couldn't accommodate. So we really had a lot of different things going on that created some scheduling conflicts for students.
Where the frustration comes with the enrollment is that some of the ripple effect that comes down during staffing time is we're running a tight line with staffing. This year we did 25 for freshman courses, and then the 30 plus or minus 2 for regular courses. So like with these C-team courses having 43 students, I think we have one section of 23 and one section of 20. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then all the other classes in those departments are expected to have 30 or 28 or, the 25. So then sometimes they feel like, are we spreading we're giving sections away to keep these smaller class sizes in this specialized program, when possibly that could be going to help lower the class sizes across the board for that department, for those departments. Which is why we pulled the PE out, correct? And we just scheduled them at the same time, but we didn't put them in a C-team PE this year?
No, we did. We're combining
To one, though.
into one.
Right. But they used to have a boys PE, boys C-team PE, girls C-team PE. So those were eating up some sections, and then everybody else was at their maximums.
And then the only other information I provided you in regards to the C-team is experience information or field trips. And then on the following page, service project information, because a component of the C-team is to participate in projects that improve the local environment as well.
Any questions on the C-team report?
The reason I had Kristen present this data is when we did the staffing report in March, I believe 2 or 3 board members were saying, when this board particularly was seated 3 years ago, there was a huge push from the community and parents and representatives about we got to keep the C-team or we got to bring back the C-team. And we've brought that back, and it's slowly starting to dwindle again. And there was some concerns even from the building staff, the department chairs, and the building administration about possibly not even running it next year with the 43 that they could get scheduled. So we wanted to start to talk with the board, so keep the board in the loop as we continue. We're trying. This is a great program if we can continue to grow it with the fidelity it was intended for, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that. That's something Kristen wants to keep an eye on.
Well, it does raise a question that, I don't know what the average class size is of outside the C-team, but based on this upcoming year, if I was a parent, I'd throw my kid in the C-team to get the honors program because there's a smaller class size. Assuming that we're going to be at 25 or 26 or 27 in a non-C-team
Correct.
honors class, and they're going to be averaging under 23.
Correct.
So they're automatically getting a favored area, right? Because all their classes are going to be limited to that size.
Their English class, their science class, and their math class.
Right.
But we should also hear from the science on the benefit of the C-team. It's a unique program, and we should hear that.
Oh, we did already.
We did. All I'm saying is, if I'm a
Did we
parent,
hear that?
I heard that today, and I see my child's going to be enrolled in a class that's at 28 or 29, and there's an honors course curriculum available on the C-team with an average size of 21 3/4, I may want to put them in the C-team just to get the class size
Yeah, but there's
advantage.
a focus. There's a focus on environmentalism. Where have we heard how these classes are different than the average advanced or honor science class? There's a focus. The science class is focused on being environmentally minded, and science and the math is geared towards that, and the writing is geared towards that. There's a different focus in those classes.
How can math be environmentally focused?
They use a lot of data from the environment, and they use
Okay.
statistics to
But
analyze the data.
what I'm trying to raise, the point I'm trying to raise is at the expense of the non-C, where we can possibly bring down those class sizes down, maybe a student and a half.
But they-
We're keeping the C team, we're keeping the C program, and they're getting the advantage of a smaller class size.
But what we're not hearing, and I think it's a wonderful program, we're not hearing the science somebody from the C team or one of faculty coming in and saying, this is where we are growing awareness in science. This is where we are helping students possibly choose a career in science. And if a student had the choice to be in an honor science class with less kids or an honor science class that was not part of the C team, they may say, I'll choose not to be part of the C team because I don't like that focus. And we're not hearing how this particular focus is growing a unique group.
We do ask all of the transfer students that come in, about anywhere from 40 to 50 transfer students, when they register, whether or not they want to participate in the C team. So that helps with the enrollment as well. And that's also why we made the decision to only offer 2 sections next year as opposed to 3.
Kristen, are there any any students? I think it would be interesting for us to hear some students to tell us why they chose that over a different advanced science class.
Then should we hear students who are in classes of 29 and saying, why should the CT program have 21 and a half average?
Absolutely. But I think we should hear, because this is an integrated system of 4 classes, we should hear the benefit of that.
Kristen, what do you want the board to know so that you can stand in front of them 6-8 months from now in March and make a proposal to them? Obviously, if the enrollment, if a lot of kids sign up and you can schedule, this may be a moot point, and the class sizes may be a moot point as well. But we kind of had to put some things together this year just to get 43 that can have combinations to work, correct?
Correct.
So why don't you plan throughout, maybe some point in late fall, the board can get an understanding of some of the data that Ms. Haruska's asking from the perspectives of being involved in the C team. And then maybe have the department chairs from those areas talk about some of the concerns they have about staffing C team one way and not being able to provide some resources maybe to the regular classes or to the regular general population.
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, Laura, but we've had a lot of presentations on the benefits of the C team. We've had students in, we've had
Right.
teachers more than once. We had a professor from a university, we had a senior vice president from the zoo come in. Everybody, but at the end of the day, what I think Gary's point is, they're taking honors, or whichever they're taking, geometry or algebra, they're taking honors English, they're taking honors science of what is it, biology?
Mm-hmm.
They're taking biology and they're getting the same credits. At the end of the day, on their diploma, it says, or what they send to college, every freshman took the same if it's honors biology, it doesn't show that it was C team honors biology, right?
I believe it shows C team.
So we have it as a separate.
But it counts as the
It still
biology.
counts as a normal
It counts as a
honors biology.
freshman
Biology
biology, let's
credit.
just say.
Correct.
And what Gary's point is, yes, there's a bit different focus, but if you're in those same 3 honors classes, and you knew that now you're in a co-ed gym, which I can't imagine they do a lot different in gym for the C team, but maybe I'm wrong. At the end of the day, would you rather be in the class of 21 and get the same credit, or be in the class of 26 or 27?
Well, I don't think we have enough information to answer that.
Okay, so Kristen, just keep us updated from there.
Right.
All right, let's move on to computer science principals course proposal.
So this is the last presentation that Kristen will provide. There's only one course proposal for next year. This is the new computer science course proposal that eventually will be an AP course, but the College Board has not released the test yet, so that's why we're not calling it AP Computer Science, and this is what most of the other local schools are providing. I'll let Kristen report out on that.
So this course provides students with an understanding of the fundamental principles of computing. So the current course that we offer focuses on a specific language for programming, and this is more of a broad overview of the different aspects that are involved. And so over the past 4 years, approximately 50 high schools and colleges have been piloting the course, and so we would like to offer the course in the 2015-16 school year for students in their sophomore, junior, or senior year. This is the year before the AP test is available, which is why for that 1 year we would have to call it computer science principles and make a statement in the curriculum guide that the following year we would be able to attach the AP label to that. We can't do it the previous year because in order to call a course an AP course, you have to get your syllabus approved, even if you're using the model syllabus that's provided by the College Board. And so we would like to phase this in as a prerequisite for AP Computer Science A with the class of 2018, so that the class of 2016 and 17 would be allowed to take this course or Computer Science A before taking this course if they chose to do so. And we would make it very clear to seniors who elected to take this course that obviously the test would not be available to them, but it would still be a great opportunity if they were pursuing a career in this to have that exposure. We would also ask that this course, even in the first year, be given AP weight in the GPA because we will be following the College Board syllabus and we will be preparing the students to be eligible to take the test the following year. We anticipate some challenges. Sandy Chaika, who would be one of the teachers of this course, has gone through this when we first started offering, or when AP started offering statistics. And so what we would do is attach a letter to the transcript or make a note on the transcript that this course was taught following the AP syllabus and that the following year received the AP designation. And the reason that we would like to offer it before the test is available is it gives the teachers an opportunity to go through the curriculum, determine whether or not the pacing that was suggested was appropriate, identify the areas in which students struggled with, to provide them with additional background information and support, but then also if there's something that students came into the course already knowing, they would be able to speed through that quickly. So it provides the teacher an opportunity to go through the curriculum for that first year and making sure that they've worked all the kinks out before students have to take the test, and then providing review sessions and things of that nature for the students who took the class the year before to be prepared to take the test. And there's also a portfolio component associated with the test.
I'm confused again. You said we had to have the syllabus approved in order for it to count. And Kevin said the test isn't available. Is it available to other schools?
No.
So everybody's offering this course, whether they're calling AP or not, there's not going to be an AP the first time it'll be available in 2017?
Correct. The College Board has already released, obviously, all of the different learning objectives for the course, a sample of what the portfolio assignment would look like. Our computer science teacher, Sandy Chaika, will be involved in writing specific test questions for this. They've released some general ones, but ones that would be used for the test.
Well, don't we have a rule right now that in order for somebody to get AP credit, they have to take the AP test?
No.
No.
You can take, as long as you're taking, if it's an AP course on our books, and that counts towards AP credit in your GPA here, even if you don't take the AP test. AP test is for college credit.
I thought our grade said you had to take the test to get the credit, even no matter what you got on it.
No, the test is for your college credit. You test it.
I understand it's for college credit, but
Not your grade. There's a class test.
So you're not asking for approval tonight, you're going to bring it up to the June board meeting?
Yes, this was just the first read.
Okay. Any other questions on this? All right, seeing none, we're going to thank you, Kristen.